Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Maryland today, but we've been having a lot of rain the last basically day and a half with steady, pretty heavy rain that we got. A few inches, a couple inches anyway. But the Woodyard's pretty muddy. I was just over there this morning and it's a swampy mess. So rather than tear that up today, I figured it was a good time for me to get started on a project that I've been putting off for a while. And that has to do with the time change that we just recently went through and the days getting shorter. The evenings are getting cut short due to daylight, and I'm going to try to help solve that problem today. So stick around and I will show you that. Also, hope you notice what I'm doing here on the beer fridge out in the garage. These are all stickers that I got from the Paul Bunyan show, and as you know, the county line has a lot more stickers than this on it from other channels, but as I continue to get stickers, they're going on the beer fridge now. So let me show you what I'm doing about the darkness coming early and what my plan is to solve that problem. Here we go. So I did put up some solar lights at the Woodyard about a week ago over top of the firewood stand. A customer called me and said, man, I stopped over the other evening after work on my way home to pick up some bundles of firewood for a bonfire out back, and it was really dark down there. I had to use the flashlight on my phone to get to the firewood stand and to make sure I didn't trip over anything. So that was a valid point. So I actually put up a solar powered floodlight, mounted it to the firewood stand that charges during the day. It's motion detected, so when anybody comes to the stand, it now lights up really good. But that's not what I'm talking to you about today. You see the skid loader here behind me? I want to be able to do some work over there after it gets dark in the evenings. So the fine folks at Auxbeam have been kind enough to send me a couple of lights for the skid loader. I've got two 22-inch LED light bars that are going to be mounted to the front and the rear of the skid loader. That'll help me move logs around the yard, help me move things around, get things cleaned up. And even if I'm not using the machine itself, I can use it to illuminate the area that I am working in. So let me show you the table here, what I've got spread out and what the plan is for the day. So Auxbeam is a company that sells primarily on Amazon. They do have a website, it's auxbeam.com, AUXBEAM. They sell LED light bars, they sell driving lights, they sell switch panels, they sell replacement LED bulbs. And they sent me two of these. They're both 22 inches wide, which is going to fit perfect on the front and back of the skid loader. But as you can see here, they're very well constructed, and what I really like about them is, aside from the long range LED lights, it also has the two spotlights here in the center. It comes with the directions on how to mount everything. They're very clear. It has bottom mount instructions and side mount instructions, which we're going to follow along with today. But by looking at what they have here, it seems to be pretty simple. It's got a inline plug coming right off the light here with a adapter that's going to be waterproof, watertight, that just clips in right there. On the other end, they include a switch to put right on your switch panel. Just a simple two-way switch for on and off. And then it includes all the wiring to run back to your battery, a simple hot and ground with the leads on there to connect right to your battery terminals. Probably a 30 amp fuse in here, I would imagine. I'll pop this open and see. Yep, it's a 30 amp inline fuse. And then this right here is just your relay. So coming off the battery, you can mount the relay, have your inline fuse, run the switch up to your panel, and the other wire goes right to your light. So I'll show you what my plan is here for this. So I did neglect to mention the model of the lights in case anybody's wondering. These are the Auxbeam 5D Pro Series LED light bars. They make all different lengths to see whatever application you're using it for to make sure it fits the best way it can. But the skid loader's over here, and there used to be two simple halogen lights mounted on the front here, right at the top, there and there. But they were rusted out, didn't work. You can see some of the wiring is still there for them. But I'm going to mount it right up to the top of there. The 22-inch beam will be perfect for the front and the rear. I'm going to mount the other one right there. You can see where those lights used to be. Actually, still a little bit of paint tape on there from when I painted the skid loader there. So I'm not going to be using those wires. I left them hanging out there just in case I did need them eventually, but I don't think I'm going to be using those, obviously, because all the wiring comes right here with this kit from Auxbeam. And we'll see how easy this is. I'm going to try to make it as clean of an install as possible, route the wires the best way possible. And then once we get all that done, we'll wait for some darkness and we'll give it a little test run. So this kit comes with all the hardware you need to do whatever mounting style you decide you want to do. So I'm sure there's going to be some extra hardware left over based on the way you mount it. But I'm going to be doing the side mount because that's going to be the easiest way to install it on the skid loader. But as I was putting this first side mount on, I noticed this piece right here. And I was curious as to what that is, so I did a little bit of research on that. And what that is like a breather cap. So it allows air to circulate through the inside of the light, but it doesn't allow any moisture to get inside the light. So some lights that you may have had before, some lights that I've seen before, get moisture inside of them eventually through condensation or whatever, and they get fogged up, and there's no way for that moisture to escape or get cleared out. This here is supposed to allow that moisture to escape, to keep your lenses clear, but still keep moisture from getting in. Like I said, all the hardware and even the Allen wrenches that you need to install the kit come already packaged and ready for you. So I'm going to go ahead and mount these two side brackets on, and just loosely for now until we figure out exactly where we need to drill our holes on the skid loader for mounting, and we'll see how it fits. So everything here is made of steel. All the mounting brackets, all the individual pieces, like these L brackets here are steel. So if you needed to move them or adjust them, you know, bend them a little bit or something to make them work, you're fully able to do that, which I like. You don't have to worry about breaking any plastic. But I'm mounting the light in this orientation so that the wire comes down off of this side of the light, because this is the side that my switch panel's on. So I'll be able to route this down right through here, and all the wires will go down the right side of the skid loader to make sure that we can do this as cleanly as possible. So what I'm doing now is just trying to line up my holes, and it looks like some existing holes that are already there may work. So that's going to be real nice. So I went ahead and disconnected the grapple from the skid loader just to make it a lot easier for me to be climbing in and out while I'm working on this. I did go ahead and drop down the switch panel off the right side. I knocked this grommet out. I'm going to have to fish the wire around the corner here for the light itself, and then down we'll connect the other wiring harness to that and then route it back to the battery. So the battery's in the rear of the skid loader here, and what I'm going to do is, while I have the connections loose on the battery, I'm just going to go ahead and wire both the front and the rear up now. Even though I'm probably only going to show you the install of the front, while I have that hardware loose, I'm going to go ahead and do both of them. So I'll open up this box here so you can see how the Auxbeam comes packaged. So this is the brand new box that I have not even gotten into yet. This is how it comes packaged. Another decal in every box. I did already pull out the instructions out of this box, so I wasn't completely up front there. But here's how your wiring harness comes, packaged nicely, and all your hardware is right here in this box. And like I said, you will have extra hardware left over from these lights based on how you choose to mount. So don't get worried if you have extra parts. They send you everything for no matter what your application will be. And then of course you have the light itself. Everything's very well packaged, cared for, and there you go. So I'm going to get these battery terminals loosened up, get this other wiring harness out so that I can have that ready to hook up as well. All right, so both the front and the rear, you can see the 2 red wires and the 2 black wires are mounted to the battery. Those terminals are tight. I routed the wires right up here through a hole behind in the rear of the cab to get them inside of the cab. And then I simply put a wire tie here on these air or oil filter hoses to keep them up and out of the way. The relays are still hanging. I haven't figured out where I'm going to mount those. I may not mount those at all, but you can see one of the relays is right here and the other relay is down there. So they're both out of the way. They're not going to hurt anything where they are. It's just not a real clean, neat install at this point. If I can come back later and see a place where I might be able to mount those, I will clean that up a little bit. Let me take you around front and show you what's going on here. Got these 2 sets of wires for one light and these 2 sets of wires for the other light. So I think the difficult part might be done. Now we just got to get the lights actually mounted on the machine. So that's what's next. So I've got the light loosely mounted here. All the hardware was perfect. The size of the light bar is perfect. The only thing that's not perfect is it's not quite, well, it is pretty close to being centered, I think. But it's going to be perfect there because it's out of the way of the safety bar. When it comes up, it's pretty much even with the bottom of the cab here on the roof, so I won't be hitting my head on it when I come out. So it's going to be really good, I think. So as you know, the terminals are already hooked up to the battery, so we're going to make the connection right now, and we should have power. So we're plugged in there. We'll grab the switch, and with a flick of the switch, let's see if we have light. Oh my, that's going to be nice. So now everything is wired up and mounted up and tight. The front light here, I just have aimed pretty much straight out. I'm not going to worry about angling that too much because I want to see as far ahead of me as I can. However, for the back light, I went ahead and aimed that down a little bit. Obviously, I'm not worried about seeing way far behind me. I want to see what's directly behind me when I'm backing up. Now, one cool thing about these lights that I didn't realize until I started messing with the angle is that it's got the main screw that mounts the light to the bracket, but then once you get your angle adjusted, it's got 2 additional set screws that you can put in to kind of lock it down on that angle that you want. The only real problem that I encountered was drilling this hole behind this light to get through the cab for the main cable. I didn't have a drill bit quite big enough, and I had to get in there and file a little bit. I don't know if you can see that back in there, kind of right there. I had to kind of, it's an ugly hole, but it's a hole, and the wire is not so much the problem as it is the end on the plug. So you got to drill a little bit bigger hole than you need for the wire just to get the plug through. But let's turn the lights on and see what it looks like. I will tell you that they are very bright even in the daytime. They're blinding even in the daytime. But they're both on. Here's the rear lights. And once it gets dark tonight, we're gonna haul this bad boy back over to the Woodyard and see what it looks like. All right, so it's pretty much dark now. I don't even know if you can see me in the lens, but I'm gonna walk you over here to the firewood stand and set this motion light off so that you can see what it looks like over here. So there's the motion light set right up there on the firewood stand. Basically, as soon as you step off the driveway here towards the stand, the light comes on. And I've also got another motion light that's inside the stand here that once you come over, it lights the inside of the stand up. All these lights can be purchased at Harbor Freight, and they work really well. So I just put a 8-foot 2x4 up the back side of the stand, and it's all solar powered and motion. As you know, there is a camera here in the yard, so that will help people that show up in the evening now that the days are getting short, give them some light to help them find their bundles. So I'm going to set you up now over here at the dump trailer, and the skid loader's on there. We're going to light it up and see how that works. I'd say that sheds some light on the situation. Let's aim it down here towards the yard and see what we can light up. Now, if I was going to say I was going to cut this load of cherry up tonight after dark, I would say that that is more than enough light to stand here and buck. Now, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but you got the floodlights, and then if you notice, like right here in the middle, you can see that solid beam, and that's those two spotlights in the middle that really, you can basically see where they hit right there. And then everything else is lit up really well around it. I kind of shined on the whole Woodyard there. I hope that turned out okay. But I think I've got the rear lights angled pretty well also. You can see that square on the driveway right there where the spotlights are hitting. And it's obviously aimed down on a pretty steep angle there. So I can see what's immediately behind me when I'm backing up. But I'm very happy, I'm very pleased. I think they're going to serve me very well, and the short days are not going to hinder my operation here anymore. Stay tuned here for a minute, because I'm going to get online and I'm going to show you the website for AUXBeam, show you some of the specials that they have coming up for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, show you how you can get up with them and look at their products if you might be interested in something like this. All right, so we're back here, and I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with these lights. They are working really well, and I'm glad I got them, because these short days when I'm working my part-time job, as you know, 3 days a week, and I get home about 3 o'clock, I've only got about an hour and a half or 2 hours of daylight left that I can actually work in the yard. So this will allow me to make it a worthwhile adventure in the evenings to get, at least 3 or 4 hours in the yard. But let me go ahead and share my screen here and show you what we're looking at. So this is the AUXBeam website. It's auxbeam.com. And we'll go to the home page here so you can kind of see what they've got going on. They do have a Black Friday sale that's coming up, and Cyber Monday site-wide, up to 50% off on everything. That includes our light bulbs, their light bars, switch panels, driving lights. They've got some codes down here for $15 off if you spend over $69, $35 off if you spend over $159, and $60 off if you spend over $249. But anyway, let me click over here to the light bars that we actually used today in the video, and we'll go down here to the 22-inch light bar, and it's the 5D series. And we'll go down to the description here and show you what the lumens are. So you got 12,000 lumens in each one of those lights, which you saw in the video there how well they worked. 6500K cool white is the color, and it says the lifespan is 50,000 hours. You can't beat LED lights these days. They just low draw on your battery, and they last forever. Well, let's get back over here to their site, because you've already seen the light itself, and just show you some of the stuff that they have. Like I said, all the light bulbs that you can imagine, LED light bars from 4 inches all the way up to 54 inches. Switch panels, If you've got a lot of lights and you want to have like one central location that you can turn those lights on, off, and toggle between them. LED driving lights, they got 7-inch and 9-inch, and then the pod lights. They're just those round lights for driving that you see on some vehicles out there. And the cool thing about these is that you can shop specifically for your vehicle. Right here, they got a whole tab for it. You just go to whatever vehicle you have. I mean, Hondas, Mercedes, Chevrolet, Toyota, Ford, Dodge, Jeep. They've got everything laid out here for you to see, what you want to shop for your specific vehicle. So check out Aux Beam there. And, if you want to take advantage of the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday deals coming up, it'll probably be a good time to purchase if you're interested. So anyway, I hope that gave somebody some ideas or maybe helped somebody out. I've been thinking about doing this for quite a while now, and I'm glad it's finally done. I'm going to be able to use these lights immediately. So that's going to be it for today. Thanks so much for watching. The live stream is coming up this month. It's going to be on Thanksgiving. That may or may not appeal to some of you, but the last Thursday of the month falls on Thanksgiving, and it's not till 8 p.m. I know my family and most of my friends all eat dinner early in the afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock at the latest. So by 8 o'clock, hopefully you have had your afternoon nap and can join us for the Thirsty Thursday live stream. It's not coming up till the last Thursday of the month on Thanksgiving, but I just want to give everybody a heads up on that. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.